Hello, it's Bridget. I apologize for using this filter. It's a watercolor filter, but I've had some pretty bad allergies, and for some reason the watercolor, or no, colored pencil filter makes it look like I'm okay. Anyway, I wanted to go over things with my last final assignment, the Declaration of Intent, on a video, just because there's a lot that I was thinking I'd want to share, and I can do that a little bit easier while I'm talking to you. So I have the 3 and 4-year-olds. My research topic is going to be about assessments, and my research questions will be: what are the pertinent areas of the assessments that we need to do for 3 and 4-year-olds in a Reggio-inspired environment? The basis for my research questions is because I need to make some adjustments to the existing assessment format that I have to fully represent a Reggio philosophy or program, a little bit more so at least. It's important to me because, as you will see when I show you the example that I do, the way I assess the kids now does not feel right and definitely needs a change. So every year or 2 times a year when I do this, I'm feeling like this is really the wrong thing to be doing, and I didn't know how to change it. So this is the work I'm doing to figure out how to make these changes happen. It's important to my society. I think of society as really the parents of the children in my class, the educators that are, or the administrators that are in the higher up levels who have given me this assignment to assess the children. So I think those are topics that are important to the society because it's pertaining to the pre-established system that I have been asked to complete. They have not explicitly told me how to complete it, and so this class has been really helpful for me figuring that part out. It's important to the society because I'm creating a document that more clearly focuses on the more pertinent development of a 3 to 4-year-old child and can help educate the parents and the administration understand that curricular development is not as important as the pro-social and emotional developments that are happening at this age. How is the topic relevant to the students in your class? At this moment, the children are assessed. And I can explain that too. I am using the Declaration of Intent from the Boulder Journey School archive that was in the letter, the email with different formats. So I just chose that one to kind of copy off of my Declaration of Intent for this assignment. So 2 times a year we have this semester. You can't see it because it's in water or this colored pencil form, and I apologize. But in the math section for my assessment, I need to grade the children whether they're proficient, which would be like the top of the class, whether they're developing or emerging. So the grading system is on emerging, developing, proficient, or NE, not assessed. So it's things like identifies basic shapes, counts to 10 by memory, demonstrates one-to-one correspondence up to 5, identifies numerals 1 to 5, sorts by categories, and identifies patterns. Now, in order for me to do that, so far, I have not spoken to anybody exactly how to do this, but they just gave me this assignment to do 2 times a year to make these reports. And so I've been using these little kind of ring bound note cards to find out which letters they know, which numbers they know. Here are the alphabet letters, so it's all kind of in this little form. What shapes they know, square, rectangle, that kind of thing. The way I've been categorizing and grouping or patterning is with the these cubes. I forget the names of those. Anyway, we start with like black and white, black and white, black and white as a pattern. Anyway, the list goes on for the literacy section. Expresses ideas and uses descriptive language, communicates and is understood by others, repeats rhymes, retells elements of a story, shows interest in books, reading, recognizes some uppercase letters, recognizes their own name, explores writing using drawing, symbols, and letters, experiments with writing tools. That's the first part of the report. There's another approaches to learning, which is much more along the lines of some of the social emotional needs in the classroom. But in order to come up with their reports, I write them down on this, let's see, I can't see. Anyway, you can't, that's one part about this filter that you won't be able to see, but so I jot everybody down and figure out where the middle of our class is, who's at the top of the class, who's at the lower part of the class, so I can kind of figure who needs to have extra help, which does come in handy because then I know who I can talk to about different things. But what I've realized in this is that one of the great things I read last week in the what is the relationships and documentations and assessments by Cara Rinaldi, I think that's her name. I talked about it in my last assignment, but one of my favorite things that I read in there was the tasks of the educators, and that really resonated, like I said, in my last assignment with me, because again, she talks about how we're not just looking at all the differences that the kids have, but we want to make the possibilities for them to be nurtured through the comparison of ideas in our environments, how the child learns and how they become part of a group. And I just, that part really spoke to me. And so when I thought about what I needed to do for my declaration of intent, it was pretty obvious that I needed to work on figuring out my assessment situation. Also, when I was talking with Erin Smith, who's my buddy in this, she talked about how she'll be involving parents. And so she in her paper, she was talking about, where did I put it? Oh, bringing in the adults and the parents for understanding the big ideas and enduring understandings. And that was in part of our work in our readings about when it says when adult members of the learning community collaborate and communicate in a meaningful and respectful way, children's learning is constructively influenced. And so I took that and I thought, sorry, I'll go back to Reggio Inspired program and not focused on grading the child. That's kind of how I was feeling. But using the children, not using the children, but using the parents. And so I did some more research online, and I found some information about how it's great to collaborate with the parents for the assessment process. So I thought I would take some of the things that we've been learning with all the different research or readings and articles that we've been doing on assessment, but also collaborating with the parents in documenting and reflecting on their child's learning. I thought that would be neat because I feel like it's important to the parents to understand the role that assessments play, because sometimes parents are just looking at assessments as the report card, which it kind of makes it have that feeling. But if they kind of can come in and understand what we're looking at when we're assessing, that might be really neat. They're able to see the acts and products of their learning and appreciate their child's progress and efforts and success and achievements. So I thought that would be a good thing to coordinate in our assessments, if that works. I don't know for sure, but there is enough to go on with everything that we have been learning about assessments for me to come up with a better system. And I'm positive that it will be more prudent of my time if I am spending it documenting and observing the children in their environment and not take them out of their environment and put them in front of these cards. So that's what I'm really changing and going to be working on as my declaration of intent, because that's what really needs to change, especially after I've just finished all of my report cards. And coming up with a better system is the best way of pulling this class together for the end of the year project. So appreciate it. Thank you.